Hey guys, this is Actaeus, and I am here with a really old game that I absolutely love. Railroad Tycoon 2 Platinum Edition. It was actually one of my dad's favorite games, and two, and it's just a super relaxing game. They got every map you can imagine. You can also, of course, make your own maps from the editor. You got kind of anything. You can go San Francisco, Scandinavia, see southern U.S. See, then some of them are like fake after the flood or Atlantis. As far as I know, that's not a real map. Still Britain, and I made a few little maps of my own. Mainly, I just kind of like to edit some of the ones that are already there, and it makes it a little bit easier because some of the maps that are a lot of fun, you can't choose to play just by yourself, and sometimes I just like to play without any competition, just mess around and have a nice little relaxing game. So see, you can choose to start at 1900. I usually like to start early, but we'll start at like let's start 1900 like it said. Do your options. I always do expert. Just leave everything else alone because this lets you buy and sell stocks and all sorts of stuff. And in this one, I'm not gonna have any competition. Just kind of show you guys some of the basics. First thing to do is just pause the game. CSX. Now let's act. There we go. And I don't have any more money. I will take everybody else's money. And just gonna find a cool little logo. Which one I want to be today. I always just go ahead, go to finances, and not issue a bond right away. You got a lot of choice. Well, see this map, it's North America, but you can start anywhere you want. On this map right here, the Midwest is always a good choice because there's a whole lot of easy hubs that you can get to and get a lot of passenger freight. But let's start. We can start in Texas. Yeah, let's do that. Let's start in Texas. Oh, and there's different style train stations. It kind of automatically picks them for you, but you can always change that. But where everything's going to be coming, I think north to south. So let's do this. Boom. You always want to do the roundhouse, sanding tower, water tower too, just to make life easier. If you got more money, of course, you do the other stuff too. But if you don't, then just get the basics. Hey, there we go. And always, some maps it seems like everything costs a little bit more. So you don't always get to build a whole bunch of stations at once. Trying to build my track too, so this way make it easier to link up with those later on. And then let's go buy a train station or train. See, some of them cost more than other ones. I focus, mainly on the speed. I usually run 3 or 4 cars, so for me that's pretty important. See, he's average, below average. And the fuel, these guys are going to equal out to be about the same, but I like this mogul better. So I'm going to buy 2 of it. Perfect. Okay. I usually do 2 male or 2 passengers, a dining car, and a caboose if I'm gonna be running a lot of passengers. I'm also weird. I like my things to be just right. And now let's get started. I usually play faster, but we're just gonna do this for let you guys see. See, I mean it's an old game, so the graphics aren't going to be the best, but oh nope, I'm trying to get that. You can click on the little map and see. For an old game, it looks nice. I need to go ahead and try to get these cattle. It's also not a bad idea just to kind of put sand in water towers. If it's going to pass somewhere, I just do it. Because they're cheap, it helps your trains. Now he needs oil. That needs oil. But right here, boom, they need cattle. So right away, I already know I can. I'll be able to make money off these. I just need some grain from somewhere too. Wow, look at all this wool, cotton. Yes, yeah, pretty good map. It kind of auto generates, so there's more likely to be, the cattle and whatever in Texas. But it doesn't always mean that there's going to be like this exact layout. Sometimes, the city, like San Antonio, might have had the oil refinery. And I'm making a little bit of money. So now, overview, salary is the same. Company net worth. Trying to decide if I should. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Let's set this train up on the junction. I mean, you can do more than 2 at a time, but where I don't have grain, I'd rather just not push it right now. And then, there we go. That'll go to Houston. And then Houston will, it doesn't need to take anything back there because it doesn't have any grain. Now we also need to start expanding out because I can expand into San Antonio. Is there a good one? Oh, that's perfect. Boom, boom. Oh, but I'm almost out of money. Okay. Said I usually play a little faster, so I'm going to. Makes it a lot easier. You just kind of you get going. Now that I'm doing good, I'm gonna go ahead and put in some little basic stuff like the post office reduces penalties, saloon increases passenger revenue, especially since I'm focusing on passengers right now. Not really too concerned about that, but it's cheap, so. Then we go to the other station. Let's do the same things. Yeah, that will be really good when it gets there, and then so is that. So you can 25, 15, 5. So what is that? 45%. That's nice little pickup if you're focusing on passengers. Even if you're not focusing on passengers, it's still a good addition. Might as well make a little bit extra money. A little paper comes out, tells you boom times ahead, or if a recession is ahead. But here is where I love the stock market part of it. Because right now I'm not doing that, good. I'm not doing bad, but the stock price hasn't jumped or anything, so. But eventually you can get in there and you can start buying up your stocks and completely own your company. Because if you do bad enough and you don't own the majority of the company, they can kick you out. and that's never fun. I also usually like to buy the industries to make sure, because sometimes, even if it seems like everything's going good, they disappear. I don't really know what that's about, but I always just, if I can, I just build a large station just to call it good. Oh, let's go a little faster. Oh, and there we go. I want to. That'll be good. Now I don't really have much money, and nothing's gonna be coming that way anyway. Oh, now look at that. That's a much better train. 108. Can I get them? I don't think I can. I can't get everything in one. As you can see, I went negative, so now they're gonna get rid of my dividend. Dividend is like a amount of money that you get paid for every share of stock you own. We can take this one and do this right here. Boost. Dallas Fort Worth. And San Antonio. Because if you supply, like, look right now, San Antonio has a demand for food for 4, and it's pretty small. And see, their food is 2. It's only 2 because I've been sending so much that nobody needs it. But if you look at Dallas, what's their food? Their food's at 5 because they're not getting supplied any food. Totally gonna start buying. You can end up losing a lot of money if you buy industries and the industries aren't really making money. But I'm a sucker for it. Oh, and my stock's split for 2 for 1. People are applying. Oh, now see, there's that. My revenue peaked already. Now you can buy it when you don't really have money, but the problem is that if something bad happens or if you buy too much, then you end up having to sell off all your shares. That's never fun. You can also buy back stock. You can issue stock and lower the price a little. Yeah, we'll make a little bit of money. I'm going to issue a couple bonds. I'm going to finance an expansion, I think. Ooh, I should. Let's see. How's this doing? Lucrative. Boom, we're going to buy it. Also, I'm going to do that. Just so that nobody tries to build a house right in my path and I have to end up bulldozing it. Now, this is important. The economy status is booming, and my revenue is a little over $500,000. When the economy starts to go down, you'll see, you know, of course, your revenue's going down. And if you haven't saved up a little bit, that can go bad for you. I'm gonna go ahead and buy. Oh, it's an expensive train. I'm going to do this. Dining caboose. To you. To you. I don't think that they've actually got enough capacity to do that, but that's okay. And then we'll. I like having the caboose. See, the caboose decreases breakdown and train robberies. And some maps tend to have a lot of train robberies for whatever reason. Their demands for goods is 5. And theirs is 5. Now, what you can do is do this right here. And have one. And then on maybe one of these other ones. See, that one's going to go from Houston back to San Antonio. So the next time it's going from Houston to Dallas, you can have it add a goods to that one. So let's do that. And you're constantly going there, so Let's do this. Boom, boom. Instead of that, we'll add in a source goods. Oh, that's why. Perfect. Okay. And that should, of course, take that there without really having to do a lot else. That's not a very good train. It is very reliable. You can also do, make one a priority train. Or see, I lost 5,000, lost 4,000. But I'm not too worried about that because I'm going to make it up in the food. You got all sorts of really cool factories. Said you can spend hours in this game and just really have a bunch of fun. Yeah. I need to figure out where I can put my train station to maximize what I can get. Nope. I think the most I'm gonna be able to get is these 4. But you kind of also want to make it as flat as possible. I don't think that's gonna be a very. No, it doesn't look like it's gonna be that flat. But since I know basically where it's gonna go. Now, the warehouse reduces pickups for goods, cotton, and wool, so we need that. And Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston. Now we need to build a warehouse in Houston for the goods. You don't count. And there we go. Sometimes I like what I've been doing so far, multitask the trains, but sometimes it's nice to just have very specific ones. Go to telephone line. What else can I build? Ooh. I should have probably done that in Dallas since it's bigger first, but it's okay. I'll make a little bit more money and then I'll start upgrading the other ones too. Like I said, you go fast sometimes and start making your money a whole lot quicker. And I'll slow down if I'm gonna do anything really big. Cuts my salary. Look at that, my revenue went up and they still cut my salary. Some people are never happy. Uh-oh. Train crashed. Was that the brand new one? That's good. Let's see. There it is on fire. And, oh, I didn't look out. Oh. Mediocre. Let's see. Losing 6, losing 12,000 there. But I'm making 55,000 there, so that more than makes up for my losses. Let's see, what was I gonna do? Oh, I was gonna upgrade those stations. Telephone. Don't need that, don't need that. If you can, I suggest you just skip buying the small ones. Because you don't get a discount when you upgrade to large, so might as well just buy the large if you can. Okay. Now see, once you get a crash, it automatically slows it down for you. Look at that money just rolling in. Buy some stock. Is it 5? There's 42,000 shares in my company and I only own 5. Oh, why did they cut my salary? Profits 171. Oh, my revenue did go down that time. And that's just sometimes depends on what trains make it to their station before the end of the year. Ooh, now this is one of the best trains. The Pacific, I like it. And then you can also see, when it's time to start upgrading your trains. It's only got a 2.9% chance of breaking down, 2.8. Sometimes it's worth upgrading whenever you can, or sometimes it's fine to wait too. Ooh. Oh, see, now they increased my salary again. Oh, it's because my profit was 600,000. That's good. Need to start. Ooh, that was what I was talking about when things kind of start to get iffy. Really have any other towns? I guess I need to go to Lubbock and Amarillo so I can get all that grain. And I also really just like to buy all the industry I can, just because that's how I roll. That's a mistake. You don't need to go buy all that stuff at one time. You don't even really have to buy it. Can I avoid the yellow? Yes, I can. If possible, always try to make your tracks as green as possible so the incline's really small. Okay, we'll call it good right there. Uh-oh, labor strike. That right there feels pretty relative, doesn't it? After last year. The great toilet paper shortage. I don't want to just... Oh, wow, my profit was only $98,000. They cut my salary. I don't want to just make it a little cutout like that where they have to pull in specifically to do it. Okay, I know, everything's getting back to normal. Labor strike's over. That's the only bad thing when you play it on a real high speed. Sometimes you get bombarded. Let's go down to 6. So if they want to go that way, they have to. Did I get it? Oh, and I got the grain at that one too. Nice. Very nice. Let's see. The Pacific is faster. Or not faster, but, well, yeah. 57 to 41. Reliability is average above it. I think I'm going to go Pacific anyway. But I'm not going to assign anything to it yet. There we go. I'll be able to run a line up there. Hopefully get both of those in one. Can I get the cattle? No, I can't. So. Anything else? We'll just stick with. Oh, I wasn't paying attention to how much money I had or didn't have. Oh, negative. That's gonna split soon. But I'll just save my money. Also, once I start making a bunch of money, I tend to go in here and I'll change the dividend so I start getting more money and then I buy more stocks and it's a nice little cycle. This game can be a little slow or it can be really fast. I could have expanded out a lot more. I can issue a couple bonds I'm gonna have to repay. But again, once you start making money, it doesn't really matter. Roundhouse silo. There we go. Lubbock's gonna be a big station one day, so we'll give it everything now. And that's how you spend almost $1 million. We're gonna start up here. 3 going down there. And drop off all that grain and get a bunch of wool. What do you need? Do you need wool? Only one place needs wool right now. We will take 2 goods to San Antonio. Get nothing. Take a goose. Then run back up here. Get some more grain. We only need 2. And run there for cattle. And while we're here, let's go ahead and run up there. Make sure we get that food to Lubbock. See, this is what I was talking about. You can start getting pretty crazy with your. Since we're going, we'll just carry 1. Ooh, now where did I send goods earlier? San Antonio. So this time I'll send goods all the way up to Lubbock. And perfect. See again, here's the downside to buying the industries is that when you buy too many, you can really start losing money. 25, 20. So I just lost 100 grand a year off them. I didn't see that Lubbock had a textile mill. I have to make sure to send some wool up there at some point. But I like to buy the industries just because I guarantee they're there. Although, it is pretty risky sometimes. Because it can backfire and I can really start losing money. But I don't care. It's what I want to do, so it's how I play. You could play with never buying industry at all. I said you take the chance that they disappear. And long term, I'd rather have them. Because then you don't have to go back through and change all your stations and your routes. If I wanted to, I could also just send one straight over there. An auto plant? Ooh. If I had stuff for it, I would. Now that, oh yeah, stock just split for 2 for 1. Increase my salary. But now I'm going to go buy some stock. One other thing, well, there's a whole lot more, but see, right now, this is what my manager does. Station buildings 10% cheaper, higher. But, you know, like, oh, see, now if you're a big coal guy, you could have that, and that would probably really make a difference. See, none of those are anything I really need to get. But let's see. Industry profits. Here. I lost 45,048. Now I'm still positive 70 right now, but probably because of my, you guys. That's because that's just balling out, making a ton of money. $400,000. It's also neat seeing all the new trains as they would have come out in real life. I mean, pretty much. I'm sure it's not 100% accurate. Oh, that's not a good sign. I need to issue some stock. Oh, wow. And I'm doing that just because I want to. Oh, I'm pretty close, but I'm not going to do it. Now we're starting to kind of get some congestion. And once you start getting congestion, sometimes it's good to just start upgrading your trains. It is 15 years old. The Atlantic's a good choice. I mean, I like the Atlantic. But I like speed. I usually won't let a train get over 15, 20 years unless I just am not paying attention. Oh, you make chemicals, and we can send the chemicals up here to the fertilizer plant. And we can send that to the grain fields. So, how much you cost? You're cheap. Just buy a new train too. Delete everything. How much are you cost? Oh, that ain't bad. And the more goods, of course, that you send to like the meat packing plant or whatever, the higher the profit. Usually, if you send enough of it, they'll build another one. Let's see how this is going. Oh, making 27,000. That's good. Yeah. Still losing money with them. That's okay though. We're gonna do 2 chemicals and a caboose up to there. I think it's a 1-to-1 ratio. Sometimes it's not. See, now they're gonna have way more grain being produced. Go up here. And send that to Houston. Your demand for goods is pretty high too. And Lubbock has no demand for anything. That's funny. That's okay. We'll still send it up there. Who cares? I don't really need to do this, but I mean, if you're already right there, there's nothing hurts you from doing it. The only thing is that when you start getting into this kind of cycle, how long that is, you start basically your trains are only getting there once or twice a year. So you kind of defeat some of the purpose of it. You can also, you can pause, let's see. So that train card is worth $36,000. Let's stop. That good one is worth 42. Passengers are worth 56. You also need to try to keep track of your stations. See, they got 5, so I could increase how much cattle I'm getting from there every time. This has an ungodly number, so same thing. Oh, bend over, the train robber. There's some kind of little names like that in here. All the different robbers, they all have kind of funny names. Like I said, this is a game from a while ago, so some of it's a little bit different. Uh-oh. 42,000. That's what they start at, and then you see over time, like, what is this worth? 156 is what it starts out at. And the longer it takes to get there, the less it's worth. Oh, profit. Almost $1 million profit. Ooh, I'm doing good. And now I'm going to start doing my dividend. You can only do the dividend to how much money you actually have, and once it drops below that, they cut the dividend, and sometimes they cut it down to 0. So I'm only going to do 50 cents. Yeah, 50 cents a share, so it'd be 44,000. You can also issue stock if you need money, or if you're like me and you just want to lower the price a little bit. I usually played on this one because I like to watch the trains, but you'd have there your net worth, your company profits. And when you play against the computer, they're of course competing with you for the best spots to go. And sometimes it makes it more fun. Sometimes it's not lucrative. I made 4,000, which is better than nothing. I don't have any. I need coal and iron. I don't have any of that stuff. Well, there's iron. A good amount of iron. I don't see coal anywhere. Lumber camps. Oh, and something just disappeared up there. Here. Oil well. Oil can be good money. It's like it is in real life. So you see, I could go Lubbock straight over there, I guess, if I wanted to. I mean, I might later, but I don't really have any incentive to do it now. Bauxite mine. But see, you gotta send that to somewhere to make aluminum. I don't have that available. I could also expand out, get that. One to one. See, that was 1-to-1. This is 1-to-1, but it makes 2 food, so sometimes it works out real good. I'm gonna have to start, I guess, prioritizing my passenger line. You're all passenger. Ooh. Yeah, no matter how good you do, you never really seem to make that much just off your base salary. When you can, I like to repay my bonds. Sometimes I'll even just buy back stock just because I can. But that also increases. See, I should have bought the stock for myself before I did the buyback. I could have saved money. Now this is a long trip with nothing there. So I'm gonna put that there. I doubt I'll get wool from there, but if I want to, I can. And then that gives them just a little boost before they get there. It's easier for them to turn around. Well, guys, this has been a Railroad Tycoon 2. It's Platinum Edition. I don't even know if they make the other ones anymore. I got it on Steam. I've had it forever. It's a real fun, relaxing game. I mean, it kind of looks simple, but it can get pretty complicated, especially when you start dealing with industries. But if you like train games and you want something that's kind of simple, fun, relaxing, that can get as difficult as you want it to, this is the game for you. So, and I'm sure it's dirt cheap because it's 20 years old, if not more. I'm pretty sure it's more than 20 years old. But either way, thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, leave a like, comment, subscribe. And if you want to see more of it, let me know. Have a good one.